Wow. I have a very funny panel here. So quite a stress-free weekend as far as football is concerned. Around so many fans in Kenya and around the world who are Manchester United fans because there was no English Premier League game. So definitely we have a very eventful show for you, my dear viewers. Thank you so much for the ones who have tuned in and for the ones who will tune in later also. Thank you so much at that time. So this is Mike Odipo in the Scoreboard, whereby we discuss everything sports from football to basketball to this one I've heard about that is called Coco. If anyone of you has heard about Coco, we have rollball. So there's so much we have for you today, my dear viewers. So welcome officially to the Scoreboard. And I'm not alone, of course, as every Monday is. I am with the gang, and today I have for the first part of the show we have two amazing gentlemen. Of course, it's good if they introduce themselves. What's it? Nyajeni bana.
Tuko poa.
Yes, how was your weekend and everything?
Let me start. First of all, I would like to introduce the people, our viewers, to join us in this show. Be with us as we analyze all these matters, all the matters that has happened during the weekend, and also umeuliza how has our weekend been. Of course, the weekend tunaweza sema haijakuwa mzuri generally because of what happened. The weekend we lost lives of innocent children and all that, and we're in that stage whereby we just have to pray for those families when you are affected, and yeah, we'll just continue praying because the search is still ongoing where the other missing children, where as in, and then unajua it's also traumatic to the families. So we'll continue praying for them. But besides that, sporting wise, it's been eventful. Na yeah, tunasonga mbele. Yeah.
Mkuu.
Yes.
Tuambie sasa.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rodney. And welcome to the Scoreboard. As Manu has said, our sincere condolences to the families who lost their relatives over the weekend. And welcome to the show. So let's get it on.
Yes, from we to you, to the families, as they have said, condolences to you during these hard times. And we pray that God gives you the strength to pull through these hard times. But there's one fraction of people that we will not be sending condolences for them this week, especially Manchester United fans. You know, like every day, like any other sporty or English Premier League is played, it's always a 50-50 chances that a Manchester United fan will be happy when it comes to Monday. So at least this time they won't be. But still, if you're a fan of Kenyan football or if you're a fan of Harambee Stars, the weekend was just as any Manchester United fan weekend was last week. So welcome officially, and thanks so much for tuning in with us. You can speak to us through our social media platforms. We are at EBN TV on Facebook and also live on YouTube. So speak to us, take part in the discussions. We need to hear your views and just hear your sentiments about everything sporty and everything we'll be discussing here through your comments. So I'll be sure as the day, I'll be reading them for you. So thank you so much. Now, my guys, before we say, there will be one of us will be joining us later on. That is Teddy Samis. So he's a Chelsea guy. So definitely, if you are a Chelsea fan, today you are covered. We know that he talks a lot. So definitely, your side of the team will be covered. But let us start from here at home. Now, my guys, Harambee Stars had a game last week on Friday. They were playing against Zimbabwe, and I hope you all watched that game. And it ended in a draw, but this is the same team that we played like 3 months ago, I suppose, if I'm right, and we won against them 3-1 in the COSAFA tournaments. But now, in this African Cup of Nations qualifiers, we managed to come out with a draw of 0-0, which was very much discouraging because these are the games that Harambee Stars are supposed to be winning, so as maybe to have a chance to to go back to the African Cup of Nations. As we know that in the last African Cup of Nations, Harambee Stars did not qualify, simply because we had that ban. The country was banned due to the wrangles that were going on, and we talked about that quite a lot before. But right now, this is a chance for our national team to qualify for the African Cup of Nations, and they can only manage a draw against Zimbabwe, a team that I believe myself it is below them. This is a game that they were supposed to have won. So I don't get the now. Now, before even I introduce you to the topic, I want to talk. Let me mention about the group. So in the group, that is Group J, where Harambee Stars is, we have 4 teams in the qualifiers. We have Cameroon.
Yeah.
We have Kenya now. We have Zimbabwe, and we have Namibia. Now, from this group, 2 teams will go to the next phase.
Yeah.
They'll be picking the first 2 teams to go to the next phase. Now, if I look at this group, like honestly speaking, I don't think there's any team here that poses a challenge to Kenya. On paper, that is on paper. I'm not saying now on the field because that's a different ball game. Yeah. But on paper, I don't think there's a team here that can pose a challenge to Harambee Stars for it to qualify for the African Cup of Nations. Now, if I look at a team like Namibia, really, I don't think they can pose they are a threat to Harambee Stars. Zimbabwe, of course, they're not supposed to be a threat to Harambee Stars. Yeah. Cameroon, maybe. I'm just saying it's a very big maybe because if you talk about their form in recent years, I don't think they can pose a very big challenge as they were maybe some years back. Yeah. Now, to you, my guys, if you look at this group, I've said it's Cameroon, Zimbabwe, Namibia, and Kenya. Yeah. What do you make of it before even you speak about the past game, the game on Friday?
Okay. As you've said, on paper, it seems there's no real competition, but reality-wise, I feel like Cameroon pose a very, very big threat to Kenya as well as Namibia. If you look at Zimbabwe, you've said you shouldn't reference the game, but let me touch on it. I feel like when they were coming into the game, they came there looking for a point, not necessarily looking to win. They were just trying to get a point, survive for the game, and then move on to the next match. So we might have a chance against Zimbabwe, but we wasted it during the weekend. So the rest of the teams are going to be a quite difficult challenge moving forward.
And what do you make of it when we only manage a draw in games that you're supposed to be winning? Because as you have said, let me talk about according to what you have said. Like Cameroon will pose a very big challenge in Namibia. Now, we are only left with Zimbabwe. Now, the only team that we might be sure of winning against, we've managed to get a draw at home because we were at home, even though it was played in Uganda. Manu, what do you make of that?
I think it's a chance we have thrown away because for me, this is the games that matter in the group stages because ukiangalia we drew against Zimbabwe and we were at home, so we had the advantage of winning that match. Now if that match we didn't get the points, the 3 points, okay, we've drawn the game, set it may lose, but now ukiangalia the other opponents wenye tuko nao kwa group unapata a team like Cameroon, of course when umesema ni team yenye in the recent years they haven't posed a threat, but still it's a heavyweight, it's a big team, it's a big country, so even like kama hatujaweza kushinda Zimbabwe, hatujaweza kupata win against Zimbabwe, what about a team like Cameroon?
Exactly.
So I think for me it's like we should have won that game, but we never know. Anything can happen in the group. It's still the early stages of the qualification, and we will see about that in the next games, and we will see about it.
And now, talking about the games now, last week games now, like we said earlier, Harambee Stars and Zimbabwe ended in a 0-0 draw. Cameroon against Namibia, Cameroon won 1-0, okay? So if you look at this game, now, Cameroon here is the one team that maybe you can be sure will be posing a challenge to us now. But now, if you see them winning only a single goal to nil against Namibia, it shows that also Namibia is a very strong side. From this, if you're going to talk about the results, last week results. So, what are the chances for Kenya to qualify? What does that leave us? Where does that leave us as Kenya?
It leaves us at a very precarious position because if you look at the game, the chances were there, but we were a bit wasteful in terms of finishing. Also, tactically, there was the consideration that we played without a striker. So
exactly.
It was a bit confusing as to why the coach used to do that, but in terms of the opposition that we're going to be facing, I'm not too sure about how we're going to perform against Cameroon. Against Namibia, there might be a bit of a chance, but it's going to be quite difficult for Kenya.
Quite difficult because I understand now when you go tactical about that game. I understand that maybe Olunga was not fit for the game.
Yeah.
There's a scare of maybe an injury to him, so it's understandable that and Olunga was not in the game because even he wasn't even in the squad that was called up to it. But he traveled though. But now we had other strikers. Somebody like Jonah Ayunga who plays for St. Mirren in Scotland. Yeah. We have somebody like Benson Omala. Who recently transferred to a team in Lebanon from Gor Mahia. One of the top strikers we've had in the KPL in recent times. Now, if you look at these people are on the bench, but we are on the field. We don't have a natural striker. Yeah. What does that tell you about the tactical approach by the coach? When you have natural strikers, and here we are looking for goals, right? Yeah. But you don't include them in the team. Yeah. What does that tell you about the tactical aspect of the coach now?
If we consider one side, maybe I think the formation was 4-5-1. So maybe the manager considered, let's play defensively, and if we manage to get a goal, fine. If we don't, we have the point. We move on to the next game. So that could be one consideration. The other one is maybe they're just preserving the players for the next games. The more difficult, if you can put it that way. So I'm not really sure as to why he did that, but hopefully it works, and hopefully in the future games we get Olunga maybe coming into the team.
The latter might work in what you have said, but this is Zimbabwe. I'm not looking down upon Zimbabwe, but I'm just looking at the levels of playing and maybe the FIFA ranking, because Zimbabwe is below us. That I'm sure of, and just coming from winning against them just 3 months I think before, 3-1 in their own tournament in Kosafa, whereby we were just invited and we won against them. This was not a fixture maybe to be afraid or just maybe to gamble with, because with the maybe if you feel like this one is an opponent that is below us, that is where you get the maximum point and the maximum number of goals. Maybe that will help in the future. But if you're trying to gamble, if you're going to gamble with this, as much as you look down upon them and you don't put a striker in that particular game, it's a loss for us. It is a gain for Zimbabwe, but a loss for us, because if you're going now to face a team like Namibia, and they see that you drew against Zimbabwe, then they come in now with their chest ahead in front, because they feel like these are teams that you can beat. But if you had beaten Zimbabwe 5 goals to nil, they would have come to the game maybe scared a little bit, and maybe it would have been an advantage to us. So I think these are loss for Kenya, and again for Zimbabwe. Now, if I look at now the table standings in Group J, because they're in Group J, Cameroon leads with 3 points, but the maximum points, which is 3 points in one game, with a +1 goal. Kenya is placed second. I don't know why. Maybe through the statistics. Maybe when they played against, or the name. Okay, comes before Z. So Kenya stands second with a point after the draw now. 0 goals, of course. Zimbabwe comes third with also a point, 0 goals. Namibia comes fourth and the last, of course, with 0 points and a -1. So hopefully Harambee Stars works or maybe does better because they'll be playing tomorrow against Namibia in South Africa. And so I hope we get the maximum points from that game. That will catapult us maybe to the next level, because I believe Cameroon is going to beat Zimbabwe, hands down. Hands down. Definitely. That one goes without saying. So I hope Kenya will capitalize and just make the best out of the game against Namibia. To give us hope,
It's not going to be easy, because Namibia, having come from a loss, they're going to be seeking maximum points in the next game. So it's going to be quite an uphill task for Kenya.
And I also doubt that Olunga will be in the game. I also doubt so. Hopefully the coach puts in the best players that he has. Because having somebody like Jonah Ayunga who plays at St. Mirren, one of their best strikers. If I know he's coming from injury, of course, maybe there's an issue of fitness. But I believe you calling him up for the team and being on the bench in the previous game, it means that he's well enough to play. So definitely he's supposed to start. I hope he starts, because his presence, and if you look at that guy, he's so huge. So definitely he's poised to bring a problem to the defenders, and that can bring a goal, even if not from him, from any other player that supports. Player like there are notable people who can score from here. People like what is the name? This guy from Gor Mahia, is it Odhiambo or who? Austin Odhiambo, yeah. He can score a goal. He scores. So I think the presence of John Ayunga can bring that ability to score maybe. So hopefully the coach does brings on the best first 11 to make sure that we get the maximum point from this game. Hopefully so. Now, look at now. I'm looking at this team here. I want to predict something here. Which teams do you think will take the first two spots? Looking at those, the team in Group J.
Group J. I think. Do you want us to predict the
top two?
The top two.
Because they will be the ones who will be going to the next round.
For me, I can say Cameroon.
Cameroon taking the first spot.
The first spot. Now the second spot. Now it's maybe between Kenya and Namibia, but I'll go with Kenya.
You'll go with Kenya?
Yeah.
Patriotism, right?
Yeah.
Rodney?
I'll also go for Cameroon, number one. For second place, it's going to be difficult, but I'll support Kenya, and I hope they make us proud. So, yeah.
I was hoping one of you says Namibia because I was hoping.
Why?
Right now I can't oppose. I cannot say Namibia because I don't want to be the only one who is a pessimist.
But you can say.
I don't want to be the only one who is a pessimist here.
You have your reasons.
I feel like based on the game that they played, Harambee Stars played last week against Zimbabwe, I think our chances of progressing to the next phase is very minimal. Quite minimal. Okay, depending on how they will play tomorrow, but I think our chances are becoming minimal day by day. I hope they do. I hope, that's my hope and my prayer. But logically, I don't think they will. But I hope they do, because if they do, I'll be happy as a Kenyan. If they don't, I'll be satisfied because I'm not putting so much hope in them. So definitely, I'm in a good place as compared to you two. So definitely, so okay, my pick will be, I will go with Cameroon, of course, as the first. I will say either Kenya or Namibia as second. Of course, I'm not putting Zimbabwe in any of those, unless it comes as a shocker. Manuel, I hope you have the other groups. Do you have them, the other groups? This was Group J.
Yeah, this was Group J.
Let us start with Group A.
We can go with Group A.
So I want us you list a group, then we analyze it very fast before we wait for the guy, the Chelsea guy. He's on his way. He's just confirmed that he's on his way.
No, I've not yet gotten them, but they're good.
So as he goes to that, Rodney, what do you think will be the best squad to have for Harambee Stars?
The best?
The best squad for the first team in the wake of tomorrow's game.
As you said before, I feel like the manager has, what we can say, the best players at his disposal. So the best thing that he can do is select who he feels like are either on form or based on their fitness, they can actually deliver and put up a fight against Namibia, because as much as, yes, it's going to be a very difficult game, it's there for the taking. If they actually want it, then they can actually get it. So, yeah.
So between now, because for the strikers that we have at our disposal at the moment, we have John Ayunga and we have Omala Benson. So who do you go first if you are coach? If you are the coach, who do you pick first as the first 11 between John Ayunga and with the name Benson Omala?
It depends on who is, let's say, best fit at the moment. So I feel like it's a bit difficult for me to choose because we're not really at the camp, so we can't really know who is maybe fit or maybe who has any underlying issues. But we hope the manager actually picks someone who can deliver and maybe score the goals, unlike what's happened over the weekend. So, yeah.
I know I've thrown you into a hole. We're becoming a manager. But for me, I will choose John Ayunga. I know people say, oh, Benson Omala is proven in the local leagues, but I believe John Ayunga is now ready for that. I know it's been a long time coming, and he's been on the bench for the longest time, and I would want to see him start in one of the games and see his contribution to the national team. Manu, I don't know, ushapata?
Yeah, nimepata hizo groups.
Let us start from the first group, which is I hope Group A.
Group A. We have number 1 Tunisia with 6 points. Gambia with 1 point. They've played 2 games. Tunisia and Gambia played 2 games. Tunisia 6 points. Gambia has 1 point, and then number 3 is Comoros. We have played one, and they have 1 point. Madagascar at 4th place with 0 points, and they have played. So
that's how it is.
That's Group A.
So which teams do you think are going to be the top 2 in that group?
I can't say top 2, maybe top 1.
Let's talk about top 1, okay, because it's obvious. Huh?
I'm not sure with the second spot. It's tight, but guaranteed number 1, Tunisia, because if you look at the group, they have 6 points. They've played 2
games and maximum points.
They have won those 2 games, and they have 6 points. So if you look at them, they have the upper hand at progressing. Now, if you look at the other positions, Gambia is in 2nd place they've played 2 games, and they have one loss and 1 draw, which means they have 1 point. And now, if you look at the 3rd place, which is Comoros, they've played 1 game and they've drawn they have drawn 1 game, which means they have 1 point. Now, if you look at Gambia and Comoros, Gambia have played 2 games, and Comoros have played 1 game. Now, it will depend on the next Comoros game.
Exactly.
If they win. If they win, they'll leap on or Madagascar have 0. They haven't won any game. Now, in the 2nd spot, it's tight between Gambia and Comoros, because Comoros now, they have to win the next game or maybe draw in order to go to the 2nd position. Yeah, but so the 2nd position, I think it would be very tight between Gambia and Comoros.
True.
But number 1 is Tunisia, because they have the upper hand.
And Tunisia is Tunisia, because it is the best team amongst that in that group. Okay, the next group is?
Now, the next group is Group B. And if I look at this group, we have Morocco, the first position, in the first position. They have played 1 game and they have won it, so they have 3 points. Central African Republic, they also have 3 points at the 2nd position. In the 3rd position, we have Lesotho, they have 0 points, and Gabon with 0 points. Yeah. Now, if you look at Group B, the teams to look at is Morocco, of course, and Central African Republic. Now, that's the first position and the 2nd position. Morocco are up because of, I think, the goals scored. So that gives them the upper hand. And Central African Republic are the ones in the 2nd position, but both teams have 3 points. So it will be a tight one. But we all know about Morocco.
Of course.
Yeah.
The 3rd group?
Now, the 3rd group, which is Group C, we have Egypt. Egypt is number 1 is Egypt with 3 points. Number 2 is Mauritania with 3 points also. Number 3 is Botswana. And then number 4 is Cape Verde, with each have 0 points. Yeah, I'm shocked with Cape Verde at number 4.
Very unlikely.
Very unlikely, because we all know what threat they posed at the AFCON, the previous African Cup of AFCON. So in that group, I'm shocked with Cape Verde, but I think it's because both of them have played a single game.
Yeah. So it's too early.
It's too early to judge, but Egypt and Mauritania, number 1 and number 2 respectively. So and Botswana at number 3 with 0 points. Yeah, now that's Group C. Yeah.
The next group,
Group D, we have number 1 Nigeria with 3 points. Number 2, which is Rwanda, with 1 point. Number 3, it's Libya with 1 point. Then number 4, it's Benin with 0 points. Yeah.
So which one do you predict? Which ones do you think will make the cut to the next level?
Number 1, I think number 1 will be Nigeria.
Of course.
Because I see they have the 3 points with each games. Both of them have played 1 game each. And now they have the upper hand, with the only team winning in the group. Now, between Rwanda, Libya, and Benin, it will depend on the next games, but I see Rwanda are in the 2nd spot. Now they have to take advantage of that and see if they can progress. Rwanda is a decent team. I can see them going through.
But I think Libya will take that.
Oh.
I feel Libya is a decent team too, and they pose a great threat to either of the teams in that group. So to me, I will pick Libya as a for the second spot.
Okay.
That's me though.
So that will be a tight second spot. Now let's go to Group E. Group E, we have Algeria at number 1 with 3 points, and then Liberia, it's on the second spot with 1 point. Togo number 3 with 1 point, and Equatorial Guinea with 0 points at the last spot. Yeah, so we have Algeria, Liberia, Togo, and Equatorial Guinea. Yeah, Algeria, the only team that has won in the first games. So they're the ones who have taken the top
maximum
spot.
points.
Yeah. Now, if we go to Group F, we have Angola. Number 1 with 3 points. Number 2 it's Sudan with 3 points. Number 3 it's Ghana with 0 points. And number 4 it's Niger with Ghana is
very unbalanced.
Yeah, it has shocked me, and the fact that Ghana, we all know Ghana is a strong team, but they lost. Yeah, they lost their first game of these group stages, and Niger, of course, also Niger is at the number 4 with 0 points. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with Ghana, but it's still
it's too early.
It's too early.
It's quite early,
Yeah. So predictions wise, I still see Ghana progressing. Yeah, because of their strong team, and I know they'll progress. But it will be tough because Angola and Sudan have taken the 3 points in their first games, so that will be tight. It means they have to win their remaining games. Yeah, going to Group G, we have Ivory Coast at the first spot with 3 points. Number 2, we have Chad with 1 point. Number 3, we have Sierra Leone with 1 point. Then number 4, we have Zambia with 0 points. That's Group G. Yeah,
the group of death. I think that's the toughest group, because when you have Ivory Coast, when you have Zambia and
Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone, and the other one was
Chad.
I think that's a tough group, but I will go for. I expect Zambia to be either first or second, because Zambia, we know it has won this feat before, African Cup of Nations, so I believe they are strong enough, and they are very good players. Very good players. We have Stopila Sunzu, the veteran. We have somebody like this guy who was played for Brighton. This striker. I've forgotten the name. I've forgotten kidogo. Nitakumbuka. Patson Daka.
Daka.
Yeah, Daka is in that team. He's a Zambian. And we also have another one. I know these people. I've just forgotten. You can forget. They are a very good team. Yeah. So I believe they'll be one of the teams that will be progressing now. Hopefully.
No, that's a strong group. As you have said, it's the group of death.
Yeah.
That's Group G. Now, as we go to Group H, we have number 1, DRC Congo with 3 points, and then number 2 it's Ethiopia with 1 point. Number 3 it's Tanzania with 1 point. Then number 4 it's Guinea with 0 points.
I'm saying towards Eastern African nations from there.
Our neighbors.
Our neighbors, two neighbors. And they drew, right? They drew in the previous game. Tanzania against Ethiopia, they drew.
Yeah, they drew.
What do you think about that group? Who do you think progresses and who goes who? I know you hate Tanzania.
No. I have not said that.
Yeah, I was just talking.
Yeah, but it's if I look at this group, I'm just assuming not. If I look at Tanzania, because I'm saying Tanzania because they were
in the
previous one.
They've been in the last two. In the last two, they've qualified.
Yeah, that's because of that start. I'm saying that because they can progress. Tanzania to progress, and also DRC Congo. DR Congo, I can see them also progressing because they were in the last competition. So, but it's a tough one. I can say that, and then Upate Guinea PA may proceed. Ethiopia, because now Ethiopia is in the second position. Now it's up to the next games. Yeah.
Okay, I want to hear Rodney's input into that. If you look at that group, we have Ethiopia, we have Tanzania, we have is it Chad? Sorry, Guinea, and DR Congo. What do you think about that group? I feel like we are familiar with most of the countries there, right? Yeah.
I feel like Congo are going to be the straight winner for the group. For second position, it's going to be a very tough pick. I think Ethiopia, Tanzania.
The whole of East Africa. I know. Here you're talking about being loyal to a country that which one do you are you loyal to? Is it Ethiopia on the north, or you have Tanzania in the south?
I'm only loyal to Kenya. But I'll give it to Tanzania. I feel like they can put up a fight considering the last AFCON. So I'll say second place Tanzania.
I'm going to be the devil's advocate here. I feel like I need to see Ethiopia in the African Cup of Nations. I know I'm saying that, not because of the rivalry between Kenya and Tanzania on social medias, but I'm just saying, I feel like we need to see Ethiopia. I know they're very talented. They have they have a very good league, a domestic league in their country. Yeah. So I feel like we need an Ethiopia in the African Cup of Nations. We've seen Tanzania what it can do. Yeah. A lot of nothing. Okay. I'm sorry to say that because they didn't perform well in the previous one. And then also the other one, they didn't even perform well. So I feel like we need an Ethiopia there. I'm going for Ethiopia. Okay. And of course, the first one is Congo, of course. They are Congo. Okay. So definitely, yeah.
That's
because of reasons only known to me.
Now, so go to the next group. It's Group I. Now with Group I, we have Guinea-Bissau on the first position with 3 points. Number 2 is Mozambique with 1 point. Number 3 it's Mali with 1 point. And then number 4 it's Eswatini.
Eswatini, that is Swaziland, yeah.
Yeah, Swaziland, formerly Swaziland with 0 points. Yeah, that's Group I.
The next one, Jay, we have talked about it.
Which we are in. Let me just say the positions for those who are joining now. Group J, we have number 1, which is Cameroon, with 3 points. Number 2, it's Kenya, which we have 1 point, drew against Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is number 3 with 1 point also. And number 4, it's Namibia with 0 points. That's Group J. Now, moving on to Group K, we have Congo with 3 points. Now, this is Congo, with 3 points. Number 2 is Uganda with 1 point. Number 3, South Africa with 1 point. And then number 4, South Sudan with 0 points. Yeah, that's Group K.
Okay, very tough group. Very tough group. So, which one do you anticipate to go ahead and
Uganda. Uganda and South Africa. That's my take.
So you're letting Congo off and it's leading right now?
No, okay, that's my take. No,
okay.
That's my take.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like of course Uganda is a strong team in that group. So Uganda definitely will go ahead. We know it is strong. It is the strongest team in East Africa.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I'm a Kenyan, but ukweli ni ukweli.
Yeah.
And I feel like Congo will take it. South Africa, I don't think it will qualify. It has been on a downward. It has been under depression in the few years since I think in the few years it has been under depression. They have the best of facilities in Africa, but I don't think the performance do not reflect that. So I think Congo and Uganda will do for me. And it was a very entertaining game between Uganda and South Africa. It ended in a 2-2 draw. I watched that game.
Yeah.
South Africa coming in late to equalize. So I think. That's my take also.
We'll have to see.
We have to see. Are we done with that? With the groups?
Now, this is the last group, Group L. Number 1 is Burundi with 3 points. Number 2 is Burkina Faso with 1 point. And then number 3 is Senegal. Number 3 is Senegal with 1 point. Then number 4, Malawi with 0 points. Yeah, that's Group L. Burundi, number 1. Number 2, Burkina Faso. Number 3, Senegal. And number 4, Malawi.
Of course, one of the teams there has to make way for Senegal. One of the top.
yeah, that's predictable. As in, we all know Senegal will go through.
Because the last time we were in Africa, ilitutandika sasa. So either way, I feel like one of the two top teams, or the two teams or the top has to pave way for Senegal. But anyway, we're also in for a shocker. It can be a shocker. For the first time, we're not seeing Senegal qualify. Inaweza kuwa shock sana. So there's a comment here I'm not happy about.
Okay.
On our Facebook page. Thank you for everyone who has tuned in. Everyone is commenting. Chadwick Lebron is saying Harambee Stars and Manchester United. Same WhatsApp group. I'm not happy about that comment. Just to be clear.
Hate speech.
Chadwick. Hate speech. You can't compare Harambee Stars to Manchester United.
What I can say is I don't think Harambee Stars imefika hiyo level ya Man U. Like downward.
Okay, what are you trying to insinuate? Is Manchester 2 down or Harambee Stars 2 down? Gani kuchini sana?
Manu ndo ako chini sasa.
Manu, I will shut off your mic. I will shut your mic.
Okay, hatujafika bado Euro. Tutafika hiyo point tuanze kuongelelea hizi teams. With Manu, you know why? And sorry Rodney.
And you have the jazz. You don't even have to say something about this. The letter on the
With Manu, mimi naona tangu it just starts with Ferguson leaving. It's been downward. Hata kama ilifika point Mourinho tried and you won the Europa League and it was looking like you are now going back to your best now, but if you look at the management, the ownership and all that, kumekuwa na hizo issues za ownership and ili play part pia with the club so kuna venye ime affect and pia this switching of managers at that time so I don't think Harambee Stars najua pia sisi tuko na hizo problems zetu but Manu wako majuu. You get.
I'm trying so much to hold myself from speaking because we are not there yet. You're hurting my feelings, but either way, you cannot compare the Stars to Manchester United. But we are not that bad. By way, I don't care which one you think about. I'm also Kenyan.
By you, do you mean Manchester United or?
I'm not going to explain that also. Just. But Manchester to Harambee Stars, no, okay. I don't think so.
Okay.
But I also have Rogers Lat also saying that he's following. Thank you so much, Rogers. We have Cynthia Nanjala is saying catching you guys live. Thank you so much, Cynthia Nanjala. We have David Njue also saying he is following us. Continue bringing in your comments and also your contribution to the show because I really need to hear what you have to say, our fans, what you have to say about everything we're going to discuss here. Now, my people, this again we're waiting for here. That's why we are so much dealing into this thing because anatuweka sana. So I think we should take a very short break. When we come back, let us jump straight to Europe. Na wapeleke moja kwa moja mpaka kule ugaibuni pale so that we can discuss more about everything that has been happening around Europe. We know that the English Premier League was not around for this week, so we'll be talking about the Euros and everything else in Europe. So don't touch that dial.
Watching EBN TV, transforming your world.
Refreshing Times is here. Join us every Wednesday from 8:30 p.m. on EBN TV as Bishop J.B. Masinde of Deliverance Church International Umoja brings you messages of timeless wisdom, spiritual guidance, and heartfelt encouragement to uplift your spirit and renew your faith.
You are not what people said about you. You are not what you do. You are not what you wear. You are what God says about you. Somebody say amen.
Refreshing Times, where faith meets life. Only on EBN TV.
In a fast-paced world filled with distractions, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters: your relationship with God. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we take you on a transformative journey of building your faith, without which it's impossible to please God. A journey of introspection and discovery of who you are in Christ Jesus.
For you to walk with God, you should not crumble when you come under pressure. Kama umeokoka, sema umeokoka mpaka mbele ya president, mpaka mbele ya chief justice, mpaka mbele ya kila mtu. Hiyo ndio kuokoka ya ukweli. Kuokoka ya ukweli.
Enjoy a faith-filled environment of worship and ministry of the word every Tuesday and Thursdays from 9 a.m. with Reverend Felix Kevoy, exclusively on EBN TV.
That is the word of the Lord today.
From Nairobi, Kenya, this is EBN TV.
Watching EBN TV, transforming your world.
Welcome back to the Scoreboard here, because we've been having a very amazing conversations here with my panel here about everything football, especially on Harambee Stars and everything on home soil. And thank you for everyone who is watching. Thank you for everyone who has commented on our Facebook pages. And anyone who has not commented, please go to our Facebook page, comment at EBN TV on Facebook. Comment, let us hear what you have and your contributions about every topic that we discuss here, and it will be very amazing. So my guys, welcome back again.
Yeah, thanks, Sam.
So I want us to take this moment to talk about something that happened during the week. Something amazing happened during the week, in the Euros especially. This guy, Cristiano Ronaldo, the guy has reached 901 goals as we speak at the moment. And it was it is something that is very historical. He's the first player to ever reach such miles. Right now, 901. He reached at 900 mark with the game against Croatia, whereby he scored 1 goal. And also, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, he scored another goal against Scotland. Another goal. So now, right now, he's at 901 goal. What can you say about Cristiano Ronaldo? Let us start with Manu.
Oh, okay. Cristiano Ronaldo, he's the GOAT, collectively, as in, despite his age. Unajua, the thing that is inashangaza watu sahi kwa hii sport mpya, as in ameweza kuevolve na hii sport venye futa, yani futa imechange, futa imeevolve, like sahi ni watu young wanacheza, and we've known Cristiano Ronaldo since late time alijoin Man U. So alichezea ile the old fashion football. Now the way ameweza ku-evolve venye football ina-evolve, ana change style. He started in Manchester United, he was playing like a midfielder. I don't know if it was right.
A winger, right?
Okay, you can say a winger, but kuna style yenye, there was a time you were playing for 4-2 and he was like one of the mids in the 4 midfield. So now changing into like a left wing, becoming a striker, now being a complete footballer, and the way Vanyam evolved up to right now, it's phenomenal. It's very phenomenal, and I don't know if there'll be a guy like him. Like amefikisha 901 goals right now, and he's still continuing.
Exactly, still going. Yeah.
I don't know. It's which platform alikuwa nasema atafika 1000 goals. And this goes, ni zile goals zenye ni televised, you know, like shooting shot on nani Pele. Najua Pele sahi endo akona, I don't know so many goals, but now Cristiano alisema atafikisha 1000 goals. But it's phenomenal that amefika 901 goals. Yeah, it's truly remarkable. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. That's all I can say.
And one thing I can say, apart from just the numbers that on the goals, if you look at his life, Rodney, I know you follow Cristiano Ronaldo, because you are a Manchester United fan. So at one point, even if you're not now, you've followed him. Like even if you look at his personal life, how he prepares for the game, how he takes care of his body. What can you say about this guy?
First of all, congratulations to him, and it's quite an outstanding, achievement to score 900 goals. And also, if you look at his performances, for someone who is 39 years old, it's quite astonishing. It's quite a bit of a very big achievement. And I remember when he left Man United, a lot of people were saying he's washed or he's old, he's finished. That's why he opted to go to Saudi. But if you look at how he's been performing since, he's been very consistent, even at his age. And as you said, even outside, his football life, he's been quite, a very big influence, not only in football, but also he's very big in terms of his family.
Exactly.
How he takes care of his children, his relationship with his girlfriend Georgina, and it's something that I wish other footballers can learn from and kind of replicate. Yeah.
Because I was looking at, I follow him, of course, a lot. Him and Messi, of course, being one of the best two players to ever come out of the game.
Yeah.
And the rivalry has been the biggest ever, I would say that. Because, okay, I wasn't there in the times of Pele and Maradona, but since I was born, I've known Cristiano and Messi.
Yeah.
And if you look at from what everybody says, it's one of the biggest rivalries to ever come out of the world of football.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at Cristiano's life especially, and if you look how his diet, if you look how he trains, and everything he does professionally, it is something that like you've said, every footballer should be emulating, you know?
Yeah.
I've heard about people, his fellow, his teammates compliments about him. They said that this guy is so competitive about everything, not just football only. Even away from football, this guy is so competitive, and he's a winner. He has that mentality of a winner that whatever he engages himself in, he wants to win. I was hearing something about Evra, and Evra was confessing that one day Cristiano invited him for lunch at his house, and when he went there, the diet first. Whatever he eats, he doesn't take junk food, you know. The chef has a schedule on what Cristiano should eat. As much as it might not be the best diet for any other player, but for himself, that is what he does. Because he needs to maintain his body shape, he needs to maintain everything about himself professionally. And if you look at the current footballers right now, you'll see footballers, they play a game today, they lose or win. In the evening, they are in the bar, are out partying, and maybe they have not performed so well, you know. So Cristiano does not do that. You will never hear Cristiano doing that, you know, because he needs to put his body in shape for the competitions, and that's what any other, even not just footballers, any other human being in the world. Taking care of your body should be the utmost priority for any player, for any person that is, you know. And the other day in the World Cup, I don't know, was it in the last World Cup, whereby I saw him when he was at a press conference, and there was a bottle of a certain brand of a soft drink, and when he came to the press conference, he pushed it away and said people should drink water instead. You know, this is somebody that teaches you about diet. You know, diet is very important for somebody's health. So Cristiano Ronaldo is an all-round inspiration to anyone living in this world.
True.
That's what I can say about him. Unless you have anything else to add to Cristiano Ronaldo?
I mean, we see even with younger footballers right now, as young as maybe 20, 22, who are struggling with injuries, and for someone who is at his age, he's constantly fit. Yes, he does miss a few matches, and yes, he's had issues with injuries, but he's constantly available for matches, which speaks a lot, you know, in terms of how well he takes care of his body and his fitness, maybe his diet, as you've mentioned. And so other footballers should be emulating him and learning from him, so that they can also maintain long-term careers, not just play at the youth level and then
they're done, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think we should go for a short break because there's someone who has come in, and I would want him to have a seat before we proceed. So a very short break to my producer, please. A short break, then we'll be coming back.
This is EBN TV, transforming your world.
Are you craving something sweet to brighten up your occasion? Look no farther. Juliet Occasion Cakes and Bakers Limited has got you covered. Discover a world of delectable treats that will satisfy all your needs. We take pride in our from-the-scratch recipe and time-honored baking techniques passed down through generation. Indulge in the sweetness of life with our delectable occasion cakes, from elegant multi-tiered wedding cakes adorned with lifelike sugar flowers and delicate piping, to whimsical kids' birthday cakes in the shape of their liking. Our handcrafted creations will make every moment memorable. Birthday cakes, corporate cakes, graduation cakes, wedding cakes, baby shower cakes, holiday cakes, bridal shower cakes. For orders, you can call or WhatsApp us on 0725 038 177. Juliet Occasion Cakes and Bakers Limited, aspiring to make your satisfaction our topmost priority.
You are watching EBN TV, transforming your world.
Welcome back. There's this tendency about the shows, the two shows I've hosted. One person must just come late. And today, the culprit is none other than Ted. Ted?
Yes.
Time bana.
So jana Chelsea tunachelewanga kusign. So ulicheki what happened with Oli Osimhen. So umesikia venye kulienda?
Yeah.
Ni time ndio ilitulemea. So watu wa Chelsea tunakuanga hivyo, but tuna prepare something good. Na by this jiko ume notice without Chelsea kama yuko form, ligi ya EPL ikwangi fiti. Hakuna mtu utishia Man City.
That's what Chelsea fans think. Now, welcome to the show officially.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for being with us today. And we are looking forward to your contributions. Now, people, we want to go now straight to the nation, because like I said earlier, we didn't have the English Premier League this week because we were in an international break. But now, we want to touch on the Nations League briefly before we go on to the predictions and everything about the coming games of the English Premier League. Now, we all watched the Nations League Cup and some World Cup qualifiers, and just others our international break friendlies. Okay, so I want us to have a brief, just a very brief, just mention some of the games that played and the results, Manu, please, if you're there.
Okay, first I'll start with France. France versus Italy, which ended with France losing to Italy by 3-1. Italy, of course, winning with 3 goals to France 1 goal. And that game for me, it was a good game of football. First of all, end-to-end piece. It was such an end-to-end, because France is a strong team, Italy is a strong team, so we expected this. But now, when you look at this game, France scored early, very early. With, I don't know if it's how many seconds.
1 minute.
Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah. So when you look at that way, when France is on each position after that goal, you know now France have to kill the game. And Italy looked very shaky at the start. Sana defense. Your defense ilikuwa very shaky. France were just going, and it forced Donnarumma to make some crucial save in that first 5 minutes. But I just loved how Italy settled in the game. We know how their defense is very strong. Of course, sisemi hivyo juu Calafiori yako. I'm not biased, but
you were not even thinking of that. But anyway, you said it, so we feel like
I've said it because Calafiori was in the team. Of course, he didn't finish the game because he went off injured. But if you look at that defense here, Italy, the way they shaped up, it was like a back three. Calafiori, Bastoni, I don't know the third guy, and then the wing backs. The way they were positioning themselves, Di Marco. Actually, I liked how Di Marco was in that flank. Like he was defensively in the attack, and that made him to score that first goal. It was a beautiful goal. It was a volley, and Italy went on winning the game by 3 goals. And they were very strong. Their striking also was strong. Their midfield. So Italy, naweza sema ili outdo France. Even if France was strong, naweza sema Italy ili outdo France in that game.
Okay, I want us to delve a little bit deeper about that game now. Teddy.
Yes.
We are living in times whereby Italy beats. I know sometimes back, like some years ago, it was possible.
Yeah.
But right now, Italy is beating France 3-1. What do you make of it?
This is what I was just telling my friend behind the scene. That I feel like France as a team. I feel like they are out of options in terms of teams have already realized them. Unajua team ikiwa iko form kama for instance Man City right now, coaches are so busy, opponents are so busy kutafuta tactics zao wenye wanaweza weka chini. So I feel like teams have already realized the trick about France, because I looked at their game and I looked everyone is looking up on Mbappe and everyone is looking out on the big names. So they are no longer playing for the team, but they are playing out for big names. So for me, the way I can say about France and Italy, I can say that I think Italy wameenda wakaji-correct the mistakes they did before. We remember their games that they had in the previous. Vile kuli happen hata walikuwa sometimes hata penalties. Uliona venye kulikuwa kunafanyika mtu anauza penalty hadi mara 2. So I feel like Italy wameenda waka-correct their mistakes. It's just like Arsenal, wameenda wakaji-correct mistakes, so they are back again in the game. But for France, I feel like they need to do better. They could have done better, but I feel like they were good. For me, I watched the game and I watched about 78 minutes and I think they were good, but there is just something small ambayo they are not in for it. I think teams have already known their tactics.
Do you think these problems with France started coming in when they lost notable players like Pogba? Are they missing Pogba in that game? Rodney, what do you think about that?
I think they are, but okay. I'm not sure if him and Fofana are on the same level, but he can still put up a bit of a fight in midfield, but they definitely are missing some of their key players. I was a bit keen to watch the combination of Olise and Mbappe in the front, but unfortunately they didn't really do enough, if I can put it that way. On to Italy's side, finally Tonali is back playing football, so, and he actually assisted, I think so. And that's a big achievement for him, and we're actually proud to see him actually come back into the game and not really fall off. France are in a bit of a position that, kind of the same position that I would say Chelsea are in. They are having a bit of a trouble kind of picking the first 11.
Yeah.
They're also missing some key players, but let's see how things develop going forward.
Let us see how things develop going forward. Now that was about France. Now I want us to talk about Portugal.
Yeah.
Portugal looks like a team that is now ready. It looks like a team that is ready now to compete, or back to their form that they with which they won the Euros some years back. Do you think they're now back now to cause a threat to Europe now, or in the world of football?
I think they're a threat. They're a threat because first of all, Cristiano Ronaldo is still in the team. He's a big game changer. naweza sema. So if Ronaldo is still the team, and then another thing, we have the young players pia coming in into the team, kina Leao, Quinceao, kina Pedro Neto, those type of players, and it's making the team being rejuvenated again, and inaonyesha hiyo unity. Sometime back we were speaking about how the Portugal team is like not in cohesion because of Cristiano Ronaldo and all that. But if you look at it right now, we saw a lot of that in the Euros, and but when you look at that incident when Cristiano missed that crucial penalty, and it when you look at how the team came together at that end, wali inua spirit ya Cristiano, like it's not over and all that, you saw how the team now ililetea cohesion, being together, we're in this together. It's not a one man team, and now if you look at how they're playing right now, it's like it's a team that it's rejuvenated again, and it's imerudi hiyo level yenye unaweza sema now they can win a major trophy. As in you can't put them as favorites, you can put them as underdogs. Kituka hiyo underdogs is a harsh word, but you can put them like if they are facing a team like France ama Germany, unasema it's Portugal itashinda. Ni kama ile situation ya Portugal versus France in the Euros 2016. Now wako hiyo stage, like it's a strong team, they can just win a major trophy out of nowhere because it's a strong team. Even sasa wasao jaweka kama favorites bado, but it's naweza sema now wameanza sasa, wamekuwa rejuvenated again. You can see the cohesion, the team being together, playing. Cristiano even is a team player, as in it's not about him as well, it's about the team as well. So neza weka kwa hiyo level.
And I think Cristiano did so well in this game against Scotland. I saw this one goal that Joe Felix unfortunately lost that game. It was going to be an amazing goal. If you look at the assist that Cristiano was providing, and I had to mention that because somebody had brought about ego here. But Sasa,
no.
Now, this is what I'm trying. Let's face this. The notable players that we've known for the longest time now are facing retirement right now. Notable, we have people like Bernardo Silva, people like Cristiano now. Like as much as he's still strong, but let us face it, he's on the retirement phase. We have players like De Bruyne who are going. We have players like who else? We've now Cruz has gone. People like Benzema, they're almost getting out of the face of the football.
Gundogan has retired from international.
Gundogan is gone now.
Even Neuer.
And Neuer, of course, exactly. Now, these are the names that we've grown up idolizing. We've seen them performing year in, year out, both for the country and their clubs. But now, we have a new group of players that are coming in right now to football. We have players like Musiala. We have players like Yamal. We have players like Garnacho is coming. Of course, Mbappe is not here nor there, old nor young, but you can speak about him, maybe. People like Foden. Do you think football is in safe hands right now with this new group of players? Do you think they will get the same entertainment that we've been having before with this new group of players?
Do you know what Europe is afraid of? They are afraid to adapt to the new system of the young lads who are coming up right now, and they are afraid to forget the old regime. Regime we shall change, because looking at this Portugal team that played yesterday, the coach did what I expected. I expected him not to start Cristiano to see the performance. And you can see the lineup when I pale forwards wake alieka Pedro Neto, Jota and Leao. Waanze. And you see the mid. The one thing I love about Portugal is their midfield. Yeah, of course, your guy. Of course, akiwa anaongozwa na the guy from
Bruno Fernandes.
I don't want to say his name because yeah.
You have to?
Okay, Bruno did a good job together joined with Bernardo Silva, and I feel like this coach wa Portugal, he always knows his players. And yesterday he did a good job because I was looking forward to see how they can perform without the big names of likes of Pepe center back. And I saw even after they scored the first goal, their backlines walikuwa relaxed. Portugal were giving their opponent a hope for them to dominate, but they were using their midfield to kill them. Gilmore was trying to do something, but you could see that their midfield hapo hivyo kwa Paulinha, anaitwa Paulinha, yeah, alikuwa anafanya something there. You see the distraction. But Portugal, one of the things that stood out also for me, it's because they were in for a goal. They knew that they were playing a team that they are hungry for a goal. They are hungry for the win, not because of who or who, because you could see even Cristiano was not playing for himself. Ilikuwa na cheki ile anafika ile kuna point walicheza 1-on-1 na 1 versus 1 na Joao Felix. You see when alipiga kisigino pale imeenda shule. Yeah, kuna mara alipiga kisigino na Joao Felix akifanya kiu Chelsea pale na hii kuingia. So we can see Portugal, for Portugal mimi kwanza na wapigia upato kwa hii Nation League, like they are one of the teams that are going to stand out, because considering Spain is also coming well, but for me Portugal is a team to watch. These guys that are there, if I look at them, even coach is like, who am I going to put on the bench and bring in? But I think for them who are right now there, they are good. And then to your question about the era that we are in right now, we have to accept. The only problem, Mike, we have with this new era, these guys are all injury prone.
Exactly.
Hawa sasa ni kama hawajakula. Regime ya sasa ni kama hawastahili kujakula vizuri. Mama player ukiguza tu kidogo mse ameenda. Na it looks like every international we go for break, we must have 3 or 4 players going for injury. We have the likes of Dani Olmo, who Barcelona fans were really looking forward to watch him again, but he's already sidelined. We can see likes of Cole Palmer also alikuwa sidelined already. Phil Foden also. So we can see Calafiori, of course, we got the news again. So we can see a lot is happening. But I was trying to compare something in these nations. I was comparing Argentina. I was comparing the teams from Brazil, yeah, and the Europe ones. There is just something. I think kuna players who are Europe. There is something that they are not doing good that they need to look at. I saw you were talking about earlier about even the food that people eat, the players eat. We have to consider that, I think.
Exactly, and I also want to touch on that, because that is very important. And the gym time and just putting your body in shape for the competitions that are ahead. Because right now, let us face it, games are more than what we've had before. World Cup has added to the games. Champions League has added the number of games. So definitely we need players who are conditioned, who are well conditioned for these added games, you know. So definitely diet and just your time at the gym and everything is very important for every player. Now, before that, I am forced to read certain comments here. There's James Jemo saying, Tebu mugusie hiyo story ya Ballon d'Or kati ya Rodri na Vinicius, so is mostly to go with it. We'll touch on that, definitely, remind me. Then there's Mochal saying, one day Uganda will be in the League of Egypt in Africa. If only they had their Olunga or Osimhen, they will dominate Africa soon. South Africa was so lucky to escape with the draw at home. Very true. Then there is Alice Njeri saying, tuned in, kindly tell Manu to be careful when mentioning Man United. Thank you so much, Alice.
Very important.
Thank you so much. Very important. That's the most important.
Who is Manu? Who is Manu?
That's a Chelsea fan speaking. Now, let us touch a little bit on this thing. I feel like we should talk about this thing. In reference to Bruno Fernandes, in reference to McTominay, in reference to Cristiano Ronaldo, in reference to Ugarte, in reference to Zagzi. This is what I'm trying to ask. Let us touch on these players that I've mentioned. There's one thing that is common with them.
Manchester United.
They all played for Manchester United. And another thing that is common with them, they didn't perform at the club level at Manchester United, they are performing at the national level. And also Pogba. What is the problem with these players? Because when we see them in the national teams, they are performing so well. But when it comes to club level, it is very below par, or maybe fairly well, you know. Now, do you think at Manchester United there's a problem with Manchester as a whole, or they just What is the problem with this, with Manchester United and the players? What do you think?
Problem with Man U.
You've just said it.
Okay, Rodney,
he'll talk on his behalf because he knows hiyo ni nyumba yake.
Let us hear from Rodney. Maybe he has a inside story about it.
I feel like the biggest problem comes down to maybe either tactically or the just overall the playing style, the system that the players play in. Because if you look at the position that Bruno plays in Portugal, for example, and you come to Manchester United, they're very different. For the past the first two games of the season, we've seen him play at false nine, which is not the position that he plays at in Portugal. If you look at maybe Zaxi, he's only started one game, and for the game that he started, he wasn't necessarily being played to his strength, if you can put it that way.
He's a 9.5.
Yeah, he's a 9.5.
I like the red. Okay.
If you look at maybe McTominay, who always excels on the international stage, but kind of struggled at Manchester United. I feel like it just comes down to the systems that the players play in. If you look at internationally, maybe they're more accustomed to whatever position they play in or the players that they play around as compared to the club level. Yeah.
Briefly, because I'm not going to give this chance to talk about that topic. Let us talk about the Ballon d'Or now.
Why don't you want us to give a thought about Man U?
Because I already know what you're going to say. Now let us talk about the Ballon d'Or.
No. Small one.
No, I'm not going to give you that chance because of time also. Now, allow me please. Sorry. Now, let us talk about a little bit about the Ballon d'Or because it's what we are looking at in the coming days.
Yes.
Who do you think is the favorite to win the Ballon d'Or? Many people are arguing about Vinicius and Rodri. Okay, that's the biggest. Some people are talking about Bellingham, of course. But who do you think fairly? Because, okay, Ballon d'Or has a history of not being fair to whoever they are awarding. But if you are Ballon d'Or, not unfairly, but fairly, who do you think is supposed to get that Ballon d'Or?
You know, first in the first place, when I saw the list, I was asking myself, why all that list? Why not 10?
Why Arsenal players?
Why Arsenal?
No, I'm not. I'm not there.
Contenders.
You know,
among the 30, there were.
Yeah, there are 30 names on the list.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there is Arsenal, of course. There are names of Arsenal. But I'm proud of Arsenal for one thing. Arsenal, they played a good game last season. But the questions out there, other fans, their rivals are asking, what did they, what was the achievement? But I think the achievements was to finish top 2, of course.
Participating in the league.
Participating and waiting for the next episode.
The achievement is the progress.
Wait, sir.
We're not awarding the most improved.
Progress is right now. We want to know right now. Of course, they already have a draw. Okay, now when I look at the list, I also don't understand why Ken is on the list because what has Ken won? Is it just the goals? Because if goals were to give you a Ballon d'Or, then Haaland would have got it last season.
Of course.
So I don't know why Ken is there. And also I look at some names there, it's not adding up. So for me, if I was to choose my top 3 probably, Rodri would be my first one. Because Rodri has won in a national-wise and also club-wise. Umse amewin hadi Club World Cup. Umse amewin everything. And if you look at him, the way Anna control the ball at Man City, at Manchester City, at club level, he's so good at it. In the absence, I remember the season that De Bruyne went for injury, and then people are saying, now hapa tutatawala Man City, but that's when Rodri was exposed so well. Now we realize that this guy is a different human. So I think for me Rodri would be number 1, but of course also when I look at Vinicius, what he has done last season, manze huwezi msahau. So even me, in as much as I'm saying Rodri should take it, I'm also looking at Vinicius, and I'm like, this guy also played well. But when I look at Vinicius nationally, the game that he played, I think his teammates failed him. Brazil teammates failed Vinicius.
And they have been doing that for the longest time.
Yeah, I know people have been saying that Vinicius hayuko poa national wise, but I feel like manze the way Spain venye wamekuwa team moja tu pamoja na wacheza game fiti, that's why we see likes of Lamine wakingara. But Vinicius national nadhani amefailiwa na wasi wenye wamechaguliwa, na I feel like wale wasi wanakuja kujibamba. You look at Anthony, likes of the names like
Anthony was not in the team.
Yeah, Brazil wanakuja tu kujibamba. Na mbona unatetea Man U? Ni sawa tu.
No, I said Anthony.
Yeah, so for me the two names that I look forward to, it's Vinicius and Rodri. These two names will stand out for me. Maybe the third one maybe kama tu ingekuwa anafaa kwe hapo. I feel like also Cole Palmer.
Really? Man, what do you say about the Ballon d'Or? Briefly, because of time, that you have so much to discuss.
For me, it's between Rodri and Vinicius. Mimi naweza sema hivyo.
Why are you rating off Bellingham?
What did he do?
What has he done?
Same is in the is his final in the just completed Euros, Champions League with Real Madrid.
Did he win the Euros?
Did he win the Club World Cup?
I said it's finalist.
Okay, he's a finalist. Okay, Bellingham unaweza weka maybe kama number 3 hivyo ama
number who? Top 30
because ukiangalia achievements ya Rodri sana, mi kwangu naweza sema Rodri should go for it because ukiangalia the history of Ballon d'Or na ukiangalia kwanza hii time yenye Messi alishinda because of Copa America. If Messi won because of Copa America, then Rodri should win because of Euros.
Yes.
Inafa, as in una get your logic. And then Rodri ukiangalia Rodri ameshinda Euros 2024. Ameshinda Premier League. And then I don't know Ballon d'Or anaangalianga which time, sijui ni season gani anaangalianga. The previous season ameshinda treble, ameshinda Super Cup, ameshinda Club World Cup. And then forget about the trophies. Him as a player, as in when you
the contribution,
what he contributes to the team, it's so massive. As in yeye anafitingi venye Pep amemfitisha kwa hii team. Without him kuna venye Man City wanaweza struggle. Okay, si ati Man City wana struggle because Rodri hajaanza hizi games za kwanza za Man City. But now ukiangalia kwanza sana last season, highlight kwanza tu hii time yenye KDB alipata injury akamiss half of the season. Rodri has been the heart of the midfield, as in, and then unajua yana sijui hiyo system ya Pep ina like yeye ndo anacheza like yeye ndo heart of the midfield. So yeye ndo the one that when ana control the midfield, if it's the long balls, if it's linking up play like kina Bernardo Silva, Foden or transition, ni yeye ndo heart. Before ifike defense, ni yeye ndo ana control like the heart of that midfield. So Rodri is an exceptional player, but ukiangalia pia Vinicius Junior alianza season na injury. Now the thing yenye inafanya Vinicius Junior akwe kwa hiyo topic, pia ameshinda Champions League, tuwezi toa, but pia the contribution pia I don't know if they look at the contribution
they have
the player. He has been
instrumental to
the team. Yeah, amekuwa world class. And coming from an injury and then producing those amount of performances, I think he also needs to be in that conversation. Sijui kama there were talks like he should have been in the last year's Ballon d'Or, your conversation, like kushinda, because yeye amekuwa consistent kwa hiyo game. And of course, I think it's between Rodri and Vinicius, but for me I'll go naenda na Rodri because of that international trophy. Because Messi won the Ballon d'Or because of Copa America. Now Rodri should win because of Euros. Na pia ameshinda Premier League. So for me
Messi won because Ballon d'Or is never fair. Rodri. Who do you go for? Rodri or Vinicius?
Your namesake.
My pick
Rodri.
Rodri from Man City. I feel like his achievements cannot be overlooked. I mean, he's won the Euros, he's won the Premier League, he's won the Club World Cup, the Super Cup, and he's won the treble. with Man City. And for me, I feel like he deserves winning the Ballon d'Or. For Vinicius, I drank him second because obviously the Champions League and the La Liga. Third place,
Bellingham?
A bit controversial, but I would pick a
Don't say that guy from Arsenal.
I'll pick a Bayer Leverkusen player, either Florian Wirtz or what's his name? Granit Xhaka.
Okay.
One of them, because I feel like their achievement from last season, going on an unbeaten run in the Bundesliga, is quite big.
And they won. Hey, exactly.
Bayern Munich were there, Borussia were there, so yeah, that's for the list.
I think I'm going to have a different view about.
Why are we not talking about the goalkeeper in the Ballon d'Or?
So
can the goalkeeper win?
They can, but not likely for this time.
Well, there was that story.
Of course,
goalkeepers, like why are goalkeepers not given that recognition for winning a Ballon d'Or? Because goalkeepers also
they contribute a lot. They do. They do.
But again, I also feel like we should not assume Cruz has retired. But
it's among the
Cruz,
people mentioned about.
Cruz is one of the names also we should consider, because I feel like Europe has this thing of because someone is going, let us give him something to remember.
Retirement benefit.
Yeah. So I feel like Messi was not necessarily to win that thing the other season.
Literally three that he has won.
Yes. I felt like he was just being pushed into it. But I feel like I have that feeling Toni Kroos might surprise us also on the list.
This is what I'm going to say, yeah? The heart wants Rodri, but the mind wants Vinicius. Because you see, Vinicius has been very instrumental, not just on the on-field matters, but also on the off-field. Fighting for the rights of black players in Europe against racism. So I think maybe just for the sake of whatever he's fighting for, that's just...
Also, you should do it because of what he's fighting.
I'm saying both of the contribution. I'm saying both. It's just... Both of it is concerned with football, of course. Yeah, so I think he just deserves it.
Yeah.
Now, but literally, I know Ballon d'Or will give to Rodri, so it's done. Thanks so much, because I know. Now, I hope I've answered your concern to that, James Jmo. Hope I've answered that. Now, there's something I want to talk about here. I want us to go very fast on the fixtures of English Premier League that for the games that are coming up. Yeah. But before that, I want to touch. I think we have almost. I think we only have like something like 10 minutes maximum to talk about all these two things. FPL. I want us to be touching on FPL a little bit because sisi ni wale wasewa FPL. You know, Mkuu, do you do FPL? That's a good answer. Now, who do you think in the coming league? Who do you think will be the players to look out for in the FPL? Because we have 12 people who are also playing the FPL.
Mimi FPL vile mimi ni rambanga visijuani. Sijaanza FPL vizuri hii season. Sikuanza FPL la season vizuri. Juu tu ya mtu mmoja anaitwa Haaland. Unajua unaangalianga before season ianze. Unajua una select team. You select your first 11 and the bench players. So hapo inakonga tu strategy, creativity, as in what's in your mind, like upon ideally, like how will it work? Miss Joe watu wengine, how do they get it right with FPL? I don't know if it's jinxing ama niku. You are just so good at it, but unapata in the FPL kwanza sahi, if you don't have Haaland, Miss Joe, unajua Haaland ndio msana pena points. Most of mimi nime experience hiyo kwa FPL. FPL ni Fantasy Premier League.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Fantasy Premier League.
Oh.
Yeah, Fantasy Premier League.
We are so
with Fantasy Premier League, you get to create your team, and it's a game whereby in every game week you get points from the players. Kama wamefunga bao, kama wameassist. For defenders, kama wameka clean sheet or wamekuwa like kama wanakupea points kwa FPL. And then nimeangalia sasa my point yenye nilikuwa nasema mimi nimesuffer a lot in FPL because you try to do things zenye maybe majority of the players kwa FPL umefanya. For example, a lot of players, a lot of managers wamenunua Haaland, and Haaland is very expensive.
Right.
Or so uko zile za mimi sitaki kutumia Haaland, nataka kutumia maybe another striker, and you have this mentality idea Haaland will not give points kind of, and then Haaland started with Chelsea, against Chelsea. So there are those players wenye wanasema I want to put Haaland, I'll put maybe somebody like Salah or Palmer, or so unapata unakuwa unaenda below average because Haaland scored in the first game. So unapata kuna hizo challenges, as in FPL kuna challenges zake, assembling that team in unajua umse atakupea points. So it's always a good game to play, and we'll always be telling them the details. If they want to know which chip to use, tutakuwa tunainform hapa kwa Scoreboard.
Exactly. Thank you so much. That's a new section where we are introducing to the Scoreboard. So FPL predictions about the stars to help you have the maximum points according to this. What they will be saying, not me. Rod, who do you think will be the star for this week?
In terms of FPL?
Yeah.
I think Haaland.
You go with Haaland?
I mean, he scored 2 hat-tricks.
Yeah, back to back.
Consecutively. So I feel like he'll still carry on his form. Salah is also a player to watch if you don't have him. Other players, or if I can call them differentials, Isak is going to be playing Wolves. So he could be one to watch as
exactly.
Well.
For me, I can say Bukayo Saka because he scores against Spurs.
I wouldn't put Saka because Tottenham is a very big challenge.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put an
Saka lazima atakuwa na goal contribution against Spurs. Kitu kaya. So Saka might also be a big player. This weekend.
Now that you have understood the meaning of FPL, can you contribute a little bit briefly?
Nah. Let's go to the fixtures Saturday.
Let us not go to the areas. Let us go to the Saturday fixtures now. I'm looking at the fixtures. So okay, tell us the fixtures now.
I have seen my enemy is starting the game. Tunaitanga early kickoff, and I think Manchester will have a draw this coming weekend against Southampton.
Are you serious?
And I'm predicting one thing by
How bad is Manchester?
About Manchester. If Manchester, I'm not saying they won't get the results, but if Manchester on Saturday afternoon they get a draw, possibly a draw, and then the next game, which is Nottingham Forest, I believe, they get again a draw or a loss, because Nottingham Forest by there is a team to watch again. They have gone to the market and they have done a good job.
They've been doing that even last season.
Yes, and I feel like if Manchester these 2 games comes now but negative results, I feel like we might see Ten Hag on the headlines. Yes. So for me, in this weekend, I feel like there's a draw because there is a point to prove for Southampton, considering they have a new guy in the goalposts. Of course, from Manu's side. So there's a new guy who we want to watch again. I think that's Ramsdale I'm talking about.
And he's facing Rashford?
Yes. And we know well how Southampton is good. Southampton, I think if people are underrating this team, this is the one team that stopped Arsenal also some time back from taking the glory also. So we can also say that Southampton might be a surprise for
I don't think you can judge with Arsenal because there's also a team stopping Arsenal always.
Aston Villa, all right. So for me, the guys from Manchester, I feel like there's a draw coming out. That is from my heart. I feel like there's a draw coming out.
Chelsea?
For Chelsea is playing against Bournemouth, and Bournemouth is one of the teams that we were to chapa last season 2-1, and I saw Caicedo performing so well in that game. So for me, I go Chelsea 2-1 as Bournemouth, but I feel like Bournemouth will also dominate the game.
It's Liverpool
is at the best. si ati na support, but Liverpool is at their best. Okay, it's well, but I feel
they're playing against Nottingham Forest, don't they?
Yeah, I have remembered it's Nottingham Forest. So, but I feel like 3-1.
3-1?
Yes.
Let us talk about Arsenal, the biggest game of the weekend against Spurs.
Arsenal is going to get a win.
At Spurs home?
Yes. Arsenal is always over. And Arsenal against Tottenham, it is one of the things they enjoy playing.
And winning?
Yeah. So for me, if it was Man City, I will say Tottenham. Yes.
Okay. So Man City?
I have Man City, Haaland all the way. Haaland all the way.
Let us go to Manu. Let us see your predictions very fast. Let us start with Manchester United versus Southampton.
So my predictions for this week, Premier League, Southampton versus Manchester United. I think this one will be, it's an early kickoff. It will be very difficult. Southampton are just in that game by the season, so they want to prove, they want to get their first win. And you guys pia mnataka bado ku bouncing back from your loss here, Liverpool. So it will be very tough, but I think I'll go with Manchester United because Manchester United wakona hiyo capability.
Man City?
Man City versus Brentford. This one is a tough one. This one is a tough one. I think Brentford nile team inakalianga Man City.
Of course, and they won against them last season.
But I think I'll go with Man City because of form now.
Let us do Chelsea.
Chelsea versus Bournemouth. I'll go with Chelsea.
How many goals do you think?
Chelsea, I think 1-0.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Let us go to Arsenal versus Spurs.
Now, Arsenal versus Spurs. This is the biggest game of the weekend. A derby. But this game has a lot of factors. Considering sisi tunakuanga over them in this fixture. Now, Rice atakuwa na miss your game because of the red card. Merino, the new signing Merino is still injured on the sidelines. Calafiori atujui kama, because now ukiangalia now venye sasa sahi tuko Odegaard atujui kama hiyo knock iko, but niliona alicheza international soko sawa. So hiyo midfield sasa venye Rice amemiss, I'm not trusting Jorginho. Jorginho. But Party ako sasa hiyo replacement ya Rice na ni Jorginho. Itakuwa very tough. Najua atacheza but it will be very tough. Spurs ni team yenye iko very paced, like very paced, na sidhani ka Jorginho anaweza keep up nao. And Jorginho kuna time alitucost derby la season. So mimi sitaki kuona ikirudia tena. Ukiangalia mimi naona bado Arsenal go through. Though it will be a tough one. Kitu ya kwanza ni tuko kwao. So stadium itakuwa ina cheer for Spurs, ina cheer for Arsenal. But me, I think ninaona like a 2-0 win or 2-1 for Arsenal because I think we are still strong.
I think Arsenal should win this game because I feel like it should be like a revenge after Spurs celebrated when they lost a game whereby if they won.
We're always over Spurs. So for me naona Arsenal tukishinda. Which team have I missed? Liverpool versus Nottingham. I think Liverpool will win. Liverpool are home, so definitely. Najua Nottingham is a team to watch, but Liverpool at home when you wameanza season sioni team yenye itawastop. Maybe team yenye iko big six.
Sasa Ronnie sabi because watu mkula time yako nataka
hatujasema Wolves versus Newcastle.
Time is not on our side, kuna almost a minute only. So let us go very fast. Manchester is Southampton, Ronnie.
Man U win 2-1.
Good. Yeah. Liverpool versus Nottingham.
That was quick.
Liverpool, Nottingham. Liverpool, let me say 3-0 maybe.
Chelsea, Bournemouth.
Chelsea, Bournemouth. 2-1 Chelsea.
Man City, Brentford.
City 2-1.
There'll be no hat trick this time.
I don't think.
Arsenal, Spurs.
Arsenal, Spurs. A bit controversial, but a draw.
A draw? Now you're the only one who will say this. Wolves, Newcastle.
Wolves, Newcastle win.
Good, thank you so much. Now, please, as we wind up about everything, can you just say your last words for the show today? Briefly, because I don't time.
I just remembered something, by the way. By the way, I think I want to change my thoughts about Arsenal and Tottenham because guys are coming from international. According to how coaches are normally fair, when someone is coming from international and they come late, mnakwanga sidelined. So I'll go with Rodney when amesema a draw. I feel like there's a draw there, and it is by the international is going to affect some results this weekend. But anyway, for me, I feel like this weekend is one of the weekends that is going, in as much as we have said our predictions, but I feel like this weekend is going to be one of the surprising weekend. I feel like there is one or two big teams that are going to surprise us when we come back here on Monday next week, because I feel like two teams are going to surprise us, and if Manchester loses Sato, huenda pia Chelsea to lose.
That is true, but for Chelsea though,
for Chelsea
I'm saying losing. Just finish up.
Okay, for me, naweza sema now Premier League itakuwa where players are coming back from international break, so it will be an exciting weekend, because we've missed the Premier League, the La Ligas and Serie A, and now coming to sijui mbona umechange your result ya Arsenal inakuma, but it's okay. Sijui mbona mnataka pia mi ikaeni kama itakuwa draw, but for me I'll stick with Arsenal anyway. Mi naweza sema thank you so much guys for being here with us, for contributing by them on a lot of engagement Facebook. Na mi naweza sema shukran sana kwa wale wenye wamekuwa na sisi tangu 2 PM mpaka sasa hivi tukimaliza, na issue itakuwa inarudia usiku at 9:30 PM on Monday. So kama hukuweza kuwatch show leo, you can still follow it on Facebook and on YouTube, but it also repeats today at 9:30 PM. So don't usipitwe nayo, na nawatakia wiki njema yenye fanaka, na tuendelee kuombea hizo families zenye bado wanaendelea kutafuta their kids, and our condolences to those families, na tutaendelea kuomba. So
Ronnie,
thank you to all our fans for tuning in, and see you again next week, same time, same place, as we analyze the games over the weekend. And polite reminder, kiburi bado ile. So see you on Monday. Blessed week. We love you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Also, like, thanks so much for everybody who was talked to us, who has watched and supported. There's some message here that coming in, and I'm so happy about it, because now I have to read it. Some from James Jimwana Semaji. Arsenal is like a series. They're usually waiting for next season. Now, I did not say that. Don't look at me very that way. It is not my sentiment. It's from Jimo. Now, you settled with Jimo. Thank you so much for everyone who was.
There is a series also coming during the weekend. So let's see what happens. But Manu, we are together. You know, a draw is better.
We are sorry.
Yeah.
And
by
the Manu's position.
Nobody cares now. Listen, thank you so much for everyone who has kept tabs with us. Thank you so much for the engagement.
At least Arsenal lose.
Shut off your mic.
No. At least Chelsea has lost one to the big team, Man City.
I've given you time to finish off.
But there's someone who lost. Someone lost to Brighton. Losing to Brighton.
So let us meet here next week, same place, same time, and I hope the same panel, in addition to Simke, will be here. We need you so much next time here, please.
Don't trust Manu on your predictions.
His sentiments. He's a Chelsea fan. Now, thank you so much, Cynthia. We love you so much. You've missed you today, but I hope next week you'll be there. Thank you so much. Now, may have a wonderful week. And if you're a Manchester United fan, may God just bless you and bless your house. And brace yourself for a very big win this weekend, because Southampton, we once beat them 9, so it's not a big feat. So definitely, let us see each other again here on Monday, same place, same time. Be blessed. Mungu awe nanyi.
And fix.
Keep quiet.
Fix your leaking. Your luxury.